Welcome to Lesson 6, Multiplying Two-Digit Numbers. In this lesson, we are going to make a bit of a jump to multiplying larger numbers, and therefore we're going to have larger products. Let's jump right into our first example. So we're going to try multiplying 25 times 17. We know that 17 can be broken down into 10 plus 7. So we can break this multiplication down into two simpler multiplications that you already know how to do. So 25 times 17 is 25 times 10, and we add those two, the product to 25 times 7. And those two products you should be able to get, and when we add them up, we will get our final answer. So pause the video and see if you can do that on your own. Come back when you're ready. So we know that 25 times 1 is 25, and then all we simply do is we take the 0, that's part of the 10 here, and we add it to the end of our answer. So 25 times 10 is 250. To get 25 times 7, we first do 7 times 5, which is 35. We put the 3 up here. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17. So now we might have to do a little addition on the side. So 250 plus 175. Here we have a 5. 5 plus 7 makes 12. 1 plus 2 plus 1 makes 4. So our final answer, 425. So using the last strategy involved quite a few steps, but there's a way to multiply these two numbers in just one big step. We start by pretending that the problem is 25 times 7. So I just temporarily covered up the 1 because we don't need it for now. So 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14, plus the 3 is 17. So we already did that in the last part of the problem. Now here's where it changes. Now we're going to focus on the 1 from the 17 and ignore the 7. Do you guys see where the 1 is lined up? It's lined up here above the 7. So this place here underneath the 5 is going to turn into a 0 because we're not going to use that space. Now we're going to do 1 times 5, which is 5. And I'm actually going to erase the 3 up here just so it doesn't confuse us. And 1 times 2 is 2. And now I'm going to add these two products together. This is 5, that's 12, that's 4. So in some ways this strategy does look similar to the last one, but it is a little bit simpler because we did the entire problem in one big step instead of multiple steps. Let's try another example using this traditional method. So here we've got 32 times 45. So we begin by ignoring the 4 and just multiplying 32 times 5. So 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 1 is 16. Now we're going to focus on the 4 and ignore the 5. Just remember to put a 0 under here. That's important, don't forget that. And it also helps to erase any numbers you previously wrote up there. So now our new problem is 32 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. We add those two numbers up. Here we have 0. 6 plus 8 makes 14. 1 plus 1 plus 2 makes 4. And there we have the 1. So 32 times 45 makes 1,440. So in this lesson, we learned how to multiply two-digit numbers. In the first strategy, we broke down our main multiplication question into two simpler multiplication questions. We took the 17 here, which we know breaks down into 10 plus 7, and so we created one multiplication here, 25 times 10, and another one here, 25 times 7. Both of those were simpler to do than the original one, and then we added up those two products together to get our answer. And in the second strategy, which is the traditional method that most people would probably use, we simply focused on one number at a time here in the bottom number in the 17. So first we did 7 times 5 and then 7 times 2. So we got 175. We put a 0 here underneath the 5 when we worked with the 1 because the 1 here lines up over here, so that's where we start. And we did 1 times 5 to get 5 and 1 times 2 to get 2. We added those two products up and we got the same product. Some people call this cross multiplying because you're multiplying in kind of a cross fashion. Anyway, both strategies work. They are essentially the same thing, but you could see that this one on the left requires more writing and more space on your paper than the one on the right, but you choose the one that you like the best. Or if there's another strategy that you found, you can definitely use that if it works. Have fun multiplying two-digit numbers and ask your teacher for help if you need it.